Lord Stark.
Lord Varys.
I was grievously sorry to hear of your troubles on the King's Road. We are all praying for Prince Joffrey's full recovery.
Shame you didn't say a prayer for the butcher's son. Renly, you looking well?
And you look tired from the road. I told them this meeting could wait another day, but...
But we have a kingdom to look after. I've hoped to meet you for some time, Lord Stark. No doubt Lady Catelyn has mentioned me.
She has, Lord Baelish. I understand you knew my brother Brandon as well.
All too well. I still carry a token of his esteem, from navel to collarbone.
Perhaps you chose the wrong man to duel with.
Well, it wasn't the man that I chose, my lord. It was Catelyn Tully. A woman worth fighting for. I'm sure you'll agree.
I humbly beg your pardon, my Lord Stark.
Grand Maester.
How many years has it been? You were a young man.
And you served another king.
Oh, how forgetful of me. This belongs to you now. Should we begin?
Without the king?
Winter may be coming, but I'm afraid the same cannot be said for my brother.
His Grace has many cares. He entrusts some small matters to us, that we might lighten the load.
We are the lords of small matters here.
My brother instructs us to stage a tournament in honor of Lord Stark's appointment as Hand of the King.
How much?
40,000 gold dragons to the champion, 20,000 to the runner-up, 20,000 to the winning archer.
Can the Treasury bear such expense?
I'll have to borrow it. The Lannisters will accommodate, I expect. We already owe Lord Tywin 3 million gold. What's another 80,000?
Are you telling me the crown is 3 million in debt?
I'm telling you the crown is 6 million in debt.
How could he let this happen?
The Master of Coin finds the money, the king and the Hand spend it.
I will not believe Jon Arryn allowed Robert to bankrupt the realm.
Lord Arryn gave wise and prudent advice, but I fear His Grace doesn't always listen.
Counting coppers, he calls it.
I'll speak to him tomorrow. This tournament is an extravagance we cannot afford.
As you will, but still, we'd best make our plans.
There will be no plans until I speak to Robert. Forgive me, my lords. I had a long ride.
You are the King's Hand, Lord Stark. We serve at your pleasure.
It's the Hand's tournament that's causing all this trouble, my lord.
The King's tournament. I assure you, the Hand wants no part of it.
Call it what you will, Lord Stark, sir. The city is packed with people and more flooding in every day. Last night we had a tavern riot, a brothel fire, 3 stabbings, and a drunken horse race down the Street of Sisters.
Dreadful.
If you can't keep the king's peace, perhaps the city watch should be commanded by someone who can.
I need more men.
You'll get 50. Lord Baelish will see it paid for.
I will.
You found money for a champion's purse. You'll find money to keep the peace. I'll also give you 20 of my household guard until the crowds have left.
Thank you, my Lord Hand, sir. They will be put to good use.
The sooner this is over, the better.
The realm prospers from such events, my lord. They give the great a chance of glory, and the lowly a respite from their woes.
And every inn in the city is full, and the whores are walking bow-legged.
I'm sure the Tuanny puts coins in many a pocket. Now, there's nothing else, my lords.
Oh, this heat. On days like this, I envy you northerners your summer snows.
Lord Stark, your presence has been requested in the small council chamber. A meeting has been called.
I need to see the king first, alone.
The king is at the small council meeting, my lord. He has summoned you.
Is it about my wife?
No, my lord. I believe it concerns Daenerys Targaryen.
The whore is pregnant.
You're speaking of murdering a child.
I warned you this would happen back in the north. I warned you, but you didn't care to hear. Well, hear it now. I want them dead. Mother and child both. And that fool Viserys as well. Is that plain enough for you? I want them both dead.
You'll dishonor yourself forever if you do this.
Honor? I've got 7 kingdoms to rule. 1 king, 7 kingdoms. Do you think honor keeps them in line? Do you think it's honor that's keeping the peace? It's fear. Fear and blood.
Then we're no better than the Mad King.
Careful, Ned. Careful now.
You want to assassinate a girl? Because the spider heard a rumor.
No rumour, my lord. The princess is with child.
Based on whose information?
Sir Jorah Mormont. He is serving as advisor to the Targaryens.
Mormont, you bring us the whispers of a traitor, half a world away, and call it fact.
Jorah Mormont's a slaver, not a traitor. Small difference, I know, to an honorable man.
He broke the law, betrayed his family, fled our land. We commit murder on the word of this man.
And if he's right, if she has a son, a Targaryen at the head of a Dothraki army, what then?
The narrow sea still lies between us. I'll fear the Dothraki, the day they teach the horses to run on water.
Do nothing. That's your wise advice. Do nothing till our enemies are on our shores. You're my counsel. Counsel! Speak sense to this honorable fool.
I understand your misgivings, my lord. Truly, I do. It is a terrible thing we must consider, a vile thing. Yet we who presume to rule must sometimes do vile things for the good of the realm. Should the gods grant Daenerys a son, the realm will bleed.
I bear this girl no ill will, but should the Dothraki invade, how many innocents will die? How many towns will burn? Is it not wiser, kinder even, that she should die now, so that tens of thousands might live?
We should have had them both killed years ago.
When you find yourself in bed with an ugly woman, best close your eyes, get it over with. Cut her throat. Be done with it.
I followed you into war. Twice. Without doubts, without second thoughts. But I will not follow you now. The Robert I grew up with didn't tremble at the shadow of an unborn child.
She dies.
I will have no part in it.
Nor the king's hand, Lord Stark. You'll do as I command, or I'll find me a hand who will.
And good luck to him. I thought you were a better man.
Out. Out. Damn you, I've done with you. Go, run back to Winterfell. I'll have your head on a spike. I'll put it there myself, you fool! You think you're too good for this? Too proud and honorable? This is a war!
The Raven arrived from the Citadel this morning, Your Grace. The Conclave has met, considered reports from maesters all over the Seven Kingdoms, and declared this great summer done. At last. The longest summer in living memory.
The peasants say a long summer means an even longer winter.
A common superstition.
We'll have enough wheat for a 5-year winter. If it lasts any longer, we'll have fewer peasants.
The city's drowning in refugees, Your Grace, fleeing the war. We have nowhere to house them, and with winter coming, it'll only get worse.
You command the City Watch, do you not, Lord Slint?
I do, Your Grace.
And are you not a lord at my command?
I owe my title and lands to your generosity, Your Grace.
Then do your job. Shut the gates to the peasants. They belong in the field, not our capital.
Yes, Your Grace.
Don't get up. More ravishing than ever, big sister. What agrees with you? Forgive the interruption. Carry on.
What are you doing here?
It's been a remarkable journey. I pissed off the edge of the wall. I slept in a sky cell. I fought with the hill tribes. So many adventures. So much to be thankful for.
What are you doing here? This is the small council.
Yes, well, I do believe the hand of the king is welcome at all small council meetings.
Our father is Hand of the King.
Yes, but in his absence...
Your father has named Lord Tyrion to serve as hand in his stead while he fights.
Out! All of you out!
From this time until the end of time, we are not part of your realm, but a free and independent kingdom of the North. He has more spirit than his father, I'll give him that.
You've perfected the art of tearing up papers. We can give him his father's bones back, at least, as a gesture of good faith.
You'll give the Starks our reply, cousin.
I will, Your Grace.
Did you see my brother when you were the Starks' guest?
I did. They have not broken his spirit, Your Grace.
If you speak with him, tell him he has not been forgotten.
I will, Your Grace.
Safe travels, cousin. You have a deft hand with diplomacy.
If that's everything.
A raven flew in this morning from Castle Black.
Trouble with the wildlings.
That's why they're called wildlings.
Somewhat less wild these days. Seems they've stopped killing each other and started following this king beyond the wall.
Another king? How many is that now? 5? I've lost count.
Lord Commander asks that we send more men to man the wall.
Perhaps he's forgotten we're fighting a war. We have no men to spare.
The cold winds are rising, and the dead rise with them.
The Northerners are a superstitious people.
According to the commander, one of these dead men attacked him in his chambers. Mormont doesn't lie.
How do you kill a dead man?
Apparently you burn him.
One trip to the wall and you come back believing in grumpkins and snarks.
I don't know what I believe, but here's a fact for you. Night's Watch is the only thing that separates us from what lies beyond the wall.
I have every confidence that the brave men of the Night's Watch will protect us all.
Intimate, lovely table. Better chairs than the old small council chamber. Conveniently close to your own quarters. I like it.
What news of Jaime?
20,000 unwashed Northerners have known about his escape for weeks. Collectively, you control more spies and informants than the rest of the world combined. Do you mean to tell me that none of you has any notion of where he is?
We are trying, my lord.
Try harder. What do we have, then?
Robb Stark and most of his banner men are in Riverrun for the funeral of his grandfather, Lord Hoster Tully. In Stark's absence, Roose Bolton holds Harrenhal, which would seem to make him Lord of Harrenhal in practice, if not in name.
Well, let him have it. The name suits our purposes far more than that useless pile of rubble. And the Lord of Harrenhal will make a worthy suitor for the widow Arryn.
For which I am extremely grateful to you, my lord. Lady Arryn and I have known each other since we were children. She has always been positively predisposed toward me.
A successful courtship would make Lord Baelish acting Lord of the Vale.
Titles do seem to breed titles.
You'll leave for the Eyrie as soon as possible and bring Lysa Arryn into the fold. Then the young wolf can add his own aunt to the list of people who've taken up arms against him.
Far be it from me to hinder true love, but Lord Baelish's absence would present certain problems. The royal wedding may end up being the most expensive event in living memory. Summer has ended, hard days lie ahead. Not a good time to leave the Crown's finances unattended.
Fully agreed. Which is why I'm naming you new Master of Coin.
Master of Coin?
It would appear to be a position that best suits your talents.
I'm quite good at spending money, but a lifetime of outrageous wealth hasn't taught me much about managing it.
I have no doubt you will prove equal to this challenge.
Hear, hear.
What else?
A number of gold cloaks who deserted during the battle have filtered back into the barracks, hoping to be reinstated, my lord.
Their cowardice put the king's life in danger. I want them all put to death.
Oh, they deserve death, Your Grace, without question. And yet, perhaps it might be wiser to send them to the wall. Reports from the Night's Watch suggest that the king beyond the wall has amassed a great army.
The Watch is severely undermanned. If the wall should fail...
The wildlings will flood the north. Well, let them. Give Balon Greyjoy and young Robb Stark someone else to fight besides each other. And maybe we'll even send an envoy into the frozen waste to talk with this Mance raider.
Could be a job for you, little brother, if your current position doesn't work out.
You're late.
What's she doing here?
Our business concerns her too. Sit.
You'll be pleased to learn that after one conversation with Lana Tyrell, I've saved the crown hundreds of thousands on this wedding.
Never mind that now. We have something important to discuss.
A Master of Coin. Saving money is important. Stop that. You're making me uncomfortable.
Your sister has learned that your new friends, the Tyrells, are plotting to marry Sansa Stark to Sir Loras.
Very well. She's a lovely girl. Missing some of Loras's favorite bits, but I'm sure they'll make do.
Your jokes are not appreciated.
It wasn't my best, but I thought...
I bring them into the royal fold, and this is how they repay me, by trying to steal the key to the north out from under me.
Sansa is the key to the north? I seem to remember she has an older brother.
The Karstarks have marched home. The young wolf has lost half his army. His days are numbered. Theon Greyjoy murdered both his brothers. That makes Sansa Stark the heir to Winterfell. And I am not about to hand her over to the Tyrells.
The Tyrell army is helping us to win this war. Do you really think it's wise to refuse them?
There's nothing to refuse. This is a plot. Plots are not public knowledge. And the Tyrells won't carry this one out until after Joffrey's wedding. We need to act first and kill this union in its crib.
And how do we do that?
We find Sansa Stark a different husband.
Wonderful.
Yes, it is.
You can't mean it.
I can, and I do.
Joffrey has made this poor girl's life miserable since the day he took her father's head. Now she's finally free of him, and you give her to me? That's cruel, even for you.
Do you intend on mistreating her? The girl's happiness is not my concern, nor should it be yours.
She's a child!
She's flowered, I assure you. She and I have discussed it at length.
There, you see? You will wed her, bed her, and put a child in her. Surely you're capable of that.
And if I refuse?
You wanted to be rewarded for your valor in battle. Sansa Stark is a finer reward than you could ever dare hope for. And it is past time you were wed.
I was wed. Or don't you remember?
Only too well.
You should be thanking the gods for this. This is more than you deserve.
Tyrion will do as he's bid. As will you.
What do you mean?
You'll marry Sir Loras.
I will not.
The boy is heir to High Garden. Tyrion will secure the north, you will secure the Reach.
No, I won't do it.
Yes, you will. You're still fertile, you need to marry again and breed.
I am Queen Regent, not some broodmare.
You're my daughter! You will do as I command, and you will marry Loras Tyrell. And put an end to the disgusting rumors about you, once and for all.
Father, don't make me do it again, please.
Not another word! My children. You disgraced the Lannister name for far too long.
Killed a few puppies today?
Show him. Come on, show him.
Oh! Apologies, my lord. Old fingers.
Roslyn caught a fine fat trout. Her brothers gave her a pair of wolf pelts for her wedding. Signed, Walder Frey. Is that bad poetry, or is it supposed to mean something?
Robb Stark is dead. And his bitch mother. Write back to Lord Frey. Thank him for his service, and command him to send Robb Stark's head. I'm going to serve it to Sansa at my wedding feast.
Your Grace, Lady Sansa is your aunt by marriage.
A joke? Joffrey did not mean it.
Yes, I did. I'm going to have it served to Sansa at my wedding feast.
No. She is no longer yours to torment.
Everyone is mine to torment. You do well to remember that, you little monster.
Oh, I'm a monster. Perhaps you should speak to me more softly then. Monsters are dangerous, and just now, kings are dying like flies.
I could have your tongue out for saying that.
Let him make his threats. He's a bitter little man.
Lord Tyrion should apologize immediately. Unacceptable, disrespectful, and in very bad taste.
I am the king! I will punish you.
Any man who must say, I am the king, is no true king. I'll make sure you understand that when I've won your war for you.
My father won the real war. He killed Prince Rhaegar. He took the crown while you hid under Castle Rock.
The king is tired. See him to his chambers.
Come along.
I'm not tired.
We have so much to celebrate. A wedding to plan. You must rest.
Grand Maester, perhaps some essence of nightshade to help him sleep.
I'm not tired!
These meetings aren't always going to be this early, are they? I was up late last night. So, Does this mean I am a master of something now? Coins, ships...
Lord Tywin and I already determined that I shall be the master of ships, long before you. Lord Tywin, it's a great honor to have been granted a seat on this council.
Trial begins this afternoon. We only have the morning for affairs of state. So shall we begin?
Sandor Clegane has been spotted in the Riverlands, my lord.
A coward and a traitor.
My birds tell me the Hound slaughtered 5 of our soldiers. I believe the phrase, "fuck the king," was uttered.
Disgraceful. What would it take to make the common soldier stupid enough to try his luck with the Hound?
10 silver stacks seems a generous bounty.
Make it 100. What else?
More whispers from the east, my lord.
The Targaryen girl.
Daenerys has taken up residence in Meereen. She has conquered the city and rules as its queen.
Conquered with what?
She commands an army of Unsullied, my queen, some 8,000 strong. She has a company of sellswords, the Second Sons. She has 2 knights advising her, Jorah Mormont and Barristan Selmy. And she has 3 dragons.
Baby dragons.
Larger every year, your grace.
Mormont is spying on her for us.
No longer. He appears to be fully devoted to her. As for Sir Barristan, it would seem he took his dismissal from the King's Guard a bit harder than anticipated.
He's an old man. He wasn't fit to protect my son.
Joffrey didn't die on his watch. Dismissing him was as insulting as it was stupid.
Don't tell me you're worried about a child halfway across the world.
A child with 2 seasoned warriors counseling her, and a powerful army at her back, your grace.
Lord Varys is right. I have been to Essos and seen the Unsullied firsthand. They are very impressive on the battlefield. Less so in the bedroom.
Dragons haven't won a war in 300 years. Armies win them all the time. She must be dealt with.
How, my lord? By force?
Eventually, if it comes to that. Can your little birds find their way into Meereen?
Most certainly, my Lord Hand.
Lord Tyrell, be a good man. Fetch my quill and paper.
You're the Hand of the King?
No, Uncle. Clearly it would not be appropriate for a woman to assume that role. I'm merely advising my son until he comes of age and chooses a hand for himself.
Your Grace, I would be willing to serve provisionally as the King's Hand until he becomes
You're a
old
good
enough
man,
to
Lord
make...
Tyrell, but I don't imagine you'll have the time. In addition to being Master of Ships, the King has appointed you Master of Coin.
Oh, Your Grace.
He called your experience and wisdom in financial matters unparalleled. He said he would be honored to have you represent the Crown's interests in the same.
The honor is all mine, Your Grace. Your Grace, in the past, on several occasions, a Grand Maester has served as the King's Hand.
The King has named Qyburn the new Master of Whisperers.
Your Grace, him? This man? This embarrassment to the Citadel? Your Grace, what qualifications can he possibly have for this post?
The qualification of loyalty, Grand Maester. That's far more than the eunuch ever had. Far more than many ever have.
I must say, I cannot
Uncle
see
Kevin,
how...
in light of your position as commander of the Lannister armies, it would please the king if you would serve as his Master of War. No man living better deserves the title.
That is kind of you to say. I would like to hear it from the king himself.
The king is very busy at this moment.
He should be here, learning what it means to rule.
He is learning. On this occasion, in his capacity as ruler, he's asked me to speak on his behalf.
I returned to the capital to pay my respects to my brother, and to you, and to serve the king. I did not return to the capital to serve as your puppet, to watch you stack the small council with sycophants. Sending your own brother away so he won't
My
be
brother
present.
has left the capital to lead a sensitive diplomatic mission.
What mission?
That is not your concern as Master of War.
I do not recognize your authority to dictate what is and is not my concern. You are the Queen Mother. Nothing more.
You would abandon your king in his time of need.
If he wants to send for me, I will be waiting for him. At Casterly Rock.
Your Grace, Grand Maester, Lord Tyrell. It doesn't matter. As the High Septon of the Faith of the Seven, I give voice to the will of the gods and am their foremost servant in this world. An insult to me is an insult to the gods. An assault on my person is an assault on our very religion.
You were assaulted.
I was, by those fanatics who call themselves sparrows. They humiliated me, they beat me, they left me naked and bleeding on the cobblestones. I am lucky to be alive.
I heard this assault began in Littlefinger's brothel. High Septon, this is a rather shocking thing to hear.
I tend to both the highest born and the lowliest amongst us. Even prostitutes may earn the mercy of the mother.
So you were ministering to the needs of these devout prostitutes? A man's private affairs ought to stay private.
What do you want from us, High Septon?
Justice. I ask that you protect our faith by arresting these criminals and throwing them in the black cells. I ask that you execute their leader, this so-called High Sparrow. He is a threat to everything we hold sacred. If he goes unpunished...
Then where do I find this man? This High Sparrow?
The Iron Bank has called in 1/10 of the Crown's debt. Given the expense of rebuilding the royal
How much can the Crown afford?
with winter coming, half what they ask? Less?
You're the Master of Coin. How do we pay them?
Well, House Tyrell could front the gold and the Crown would pay us back in time, or I'd have words with my daughter.
You've already given us too much. No, we must arrange better terms with the Iron Bank.
Absolutely.
In person.
Me?
We must send an envoy to the Iron Bank, someone of importance, to show these bankers our respect. As the King's Master of Coin, I can think of no one more qualified.
I would be honored, Your Grace.
The King has expressed concern about his father-in-law's safety on this voyage. He's ordered Samarin to personally lead your escort.
My very own King's Guard. Please express
Safe travels, Lord Tyrell.
Of course, of course. I'll give your regards to the Titan of Braavos.
The small council grows smaller and smaller.
Not small enough.
As bad as Lord Varys was, Qyburn is worse. I told them all. I told them. He's arrogant, dangerous. You don't get thrown out of the Citadel without good reason. And no one listened to my advice. So, here we are. And what he's done to Gregor Clegane is an abomination. We never sanctioned this experiment. And I, for one, think it will be in our best interest to have the beast destroyed.
Can I help you?
Why are you here?
My mother.
I was invited, my dear, to help deal with several troublesome issues, such as the Queen's imprisonment.
Thank you for bringing it up. It's well past time we address the abuses I endured.
Marjorie is the Queen. You are not the Queen, because you're not married to the King. I do appreciate these things can get a bit confusing in your family.
This is a small council meeting. You have no position on the small council.
I'm the Lord Commander of the King's Guard. The Lord Commander of the King's Guard does have a position on the small council.
And Maester Pycelle, would you sanction that statement?
Well, I would say Sir Gerald Hightower had a seat on the Mad King's council. Of course, that was the Mad King. King Robert saw things differently.
What about Marcella's death, Uncle? Do you consider the murder of your own blood a troublesome issue?
The same women who murdered Marcella have overthrown House Martell and taken control of Dawn. We've got a lot to discuss. All of us, together.
And seeing as you cannot make us leave, we best get on with it.
No, we cannot make you leave. And you cannot make us stay. Not unless you're going to have that thing murder us all.
The small council meeting has been postponed on the King's orders.
I would have thought we were perfectly clear the first time. You're not welcome.
You once spoke of your respect for our father because he understood the necessity of working with one's rivals.
My dear, you have been stripped of your dignity and authority, publicly shamed, and confined to the Red Keep. What's left to work with?
Cersei is the mother of the king. She has the king's ear and his trust. And the king has been speaking regularly with the High Sparrow about Queen Marjorie and Sir Loras.
The High Sparrows seized power knowing full well we bicker amongst ourselves instead of seizing it back. Here we are. Well done to us. Now the future of the Seven Kingdoms rests in his dirty peasant hands. In a few days he'll have a trial for me. But before that, Queen Marjorie will make her walk of atonement. Yes, Marjorie will repent her sins before the good people of the city.
Oh, no. That cannot happen. That will not happen.
I agree.
You've got the second largest army in Westeros. You'll bring them into the city, stop Queen Marjorie's humiliation before it starts, and take her back into Crown custody.
The king has ordered me to take no action against the High Sparrow or the Faith Militant out of fear for the Queen's safety.
You will take no action at all. When the Tyrell armies come, you will stand down. Were you expressly forbidden from standing down?
No. But if the king should call on me...
The whole thing will be over before anyone can call on you to do anything. When the High Sparrow's in custody, or dead, preferably, and Marjorie's back at Tommen's side, do you think the king will be angry at the outcome?
You hate these fanatics as much as we do. You hate what they've done to your son. Do you want Lancel back? Or have you given him up for good?
Of course I want him back.
And stand aside, and let the people that took him from you be destroyed.
If it doesn't go as planned, the Sparrows have many friends in this city. We'll have civil war, many will die.
Many will die no matter what we do. Better them than us.